Steelers are going for another Super Bowl, but I'm sorry, you fans are going to be disappointed. The Cardinals are going to win this game because, what do you think, Mike? How are the Cardinals going to pull off an upset against the Steelers?
Well, I think it's an interesting phenomenon in this NFL season that I think the Cardinals are kind of contrary to. The most important event in this NFL season happened about 15 minutes into it when Tom Brady blew out his knee, in my opinion. Because then it became this sort of wide open thing where all these defense and ground-oriented sort of plotting teams sort of came to the fore. Giants, I would put in that category, Titans, Carolina Panthers, et cetera, et cetera. And people have come to sort of think, people like the idea that you can win that way. Much in the same way that they like the idea that you can win in baseball by bunting and hitting behind the runner and being fundamentally sound and all that stuff. I think they like the idea that people can win that way. And therefore, I think people have tended to overvalue a little bit that kind of team. How many times in the last month and a half or so have you heard the term commit to the run?
A lot.
Thousands of times. And here's a team in the Arizona Cardinals who are, contrary to that, can hit the big play, can be a big play, powerful, explosive offense with a great quarterback, a historically great wide receiver, apparently. And remember that they have another pretty good wide receiver who is, I think, is going to be more of a factor in this game than he's been the last couple of weeks. This is a team that can hit home runs in baseball speak, and I think that sets them apart from all the other teams in this tournament and the Steelers.
I think it's a contrast in the styles. The Steelers obviously want to emphasize the run. Willie Parker, they're going to be trying to ball control.
Sure.
And the Cardinals are like the Rams were around 2000, 99. It's the greatest show on the turf. And they've got the same guy as the ringleader of it in Warner. And he's throwing to Fitzgerald about 96 catches during the regular season for 1,431 yards, and he's going nuts here in the postseason. He's broke single postseason records that Jerry Rice had. It's going to be a great show, and I think it comes down to some interesting factors. Ken Wisenhunt, the former Pittsburgh coach, who's now the head coach of the Cardinals, him and Russ Grimm thought they both had the job there, Mike. Yeah. And I think Wisenhunt, who was the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, understands Ben Roethlisberger. He understands his cadence. He understands his audibles.
That's a good point.
He knows all those factors. So I think he can go into the Cardinal defense and say, listen, this is how he's going to do things when he's throwing off audibles or how he's going to reflect his voice. Things like that. I think it comes down to the Cardinal defense putting constant pressure on the Steelers. When the Eagles play the Steelers, they sacked Roethlisberger 8 times and knocked him down 10 times in the game.
And that really was the dominant factor in that game. That really decided that game. And the Cardinals are not as good defensively as the Eagles, I think we agree, but have a similar kind of young, quick, athletic, maybe a little smaller, but quick defense that maybe can do 80% of what the Eagles did.
And they're coming a long way as a team. This is not just a one-dimensional passing team anymore. This is a team that has established the run, and this is a team that has played great defense in the postseason. I'm talking about the Cardinals here, not talking about the Steelers as much, although they've been consistent all year long.
Now, Cardinals offense against Steelers defense. As good as the Steelers are defensively, they play a little bit. They don't play the real press aggressive coverage. Right. They kind of play soft coverage, which maybe you need to do. Maybe you need to be aggressive against Fitzgerald and Bolden, and they're very, very dependent on the blitz. And the Cardinals have proven to be a very good team against the blitz. So I think it's a pretty good matchup for the Cardinals offense against the Steelers defense. So, supposedly the Cardinals are a pretty solid underdog, but I don't think it's too hard. And I don't think we've had too much of a hard time building a case for it.
You make an argument. I'm also going to argue it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Wow. Okay. There you have it.